a sacrifice. We got chemistry. We got history.
Yes.
And it's never fair when there's no plan. All I understand is we got chemistry.
We got it.
The timing from not being the 13-year-old being ready to the college not being ready to now I'm ready.
Yeah.
And the people who are involved that incubated or lack thereof incubating who you are for you to even have the platform to even form yourself.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's kind of hard to read because
But see, this is why you my partner, because I was literally thinking along those same lines.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. But I was like, you know what? Let me let Ramsey ask it.
So, in a nutshell, we're talking the Steph Singz story.
yes. Steph Singz story.
So here it is.
Hashtag.
Hashtag,
Yeah,
right?
let them know the hashtag.
Oh, that's another hashtag. Hashtag Steph Singz story.
Yes,
I
yes,
like
indeed.
that.
Yeah.
Actually, in chapter 10 of my book, From Panic to Empowerment, you do get to know about my story, which is pretty awesome, I think.
Hashtag the book.
Hashtag From Panic to Empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
So, I started singing probably before I could talk. This is what I'm hearing, and everybody corroborates it, so it's probably true. And I was born with 2 teeth, and as the story goes, I would hum the tunes from Motown, and then when I started to talk, I would sing the songs from Motown. And this past week, before Thanksgiving, I went to go visit an aunt to give her a CD, because when she hears my music, it's like validated, it's like stamped in ink.
Yeah.
Because she's 85, and she goes, Miss Porridge, you've been singing. You know, I tell you my nickname is Miss Porridge.
We need the story behind that.
I'll tell you the story about Miss Porridge. So that's been kind of like that cultivation of me kind of being infused with music before I even really understood what language was, because there was always music in my house. Music and cooking, they all go the same together.
Yes,
So my grandfather, he used to listen to Coltrane, that really deep jazz. And so I even was listening to that when I was a toddler.
Yeah.
And so I got used to hearing that kind of music, hearing Motown music, and they just kind of fused into my little spirit.
Yeah.
So when I was 13, I was in this pageant called Miss Belfield.
Okay.
And Belfield Recreation Center is the same recreation center that Kevin Hart was a camp counselor.
Oh, wow.
He was
Okay.
actually my son's camp counselor.
Wow. How
Right?
about
So
that?
there's a connection. But you never know who's going to be who. At the
Small
time,
world,
we're just
yeah.
kind of like doing our thing.
Yeah.
And so at the time, Pieces of a Dream was the band playing for me. And I sang the song Out on a Limb by Tina Marie when I was 13. And it was a favor for the director of the recreation center.
Okay.
And afterwards they was like, said to my parents, look, she's got this thing. We will chaperone her. She can do whatever. Can she sing with us? Absolutely not. And I said, "Oh," for about 5 seconds, because I didn't really understand the magnitude of what the question was. I just knew that I loved to sing,
Right.
and it just felt right for me.
Yeah.
And then I went to college, to Penn State University,
Yeah.
and I had this dream. Tell you about my dream. And my dream leads me to my current vision of one day accepting a Grammy, the Best New Artist. I see it as I can see the sign, Worldwide Flavor Network.
I'm convinced.
Right? I see it. And I already have my acceptance speech. Stop playing, right? So
You're sprinkling all over here.
there you go.
That was forming my picture in my picture.
You have to form the picture, because
Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
that is your vision. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to see it in order to grab it.
That's right.
Right? You have no idea what you're going to grab unless you can see it. Right?
Absolutely.
And so I became Miss Black Penn State in 1987,
Okay.
and that landed me to another potential record deal. And then that kind of fizzled, and I'm thinking, God, every time it's time for me to do the music, it fizzles. And then in, I think it was 92, I won a contest on a radio station called Power 99 in Philly.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Right? And their job, they were soliciting new songwriters and producers, and I actually won that competition. And I was able to work with a guy, you might know him, his name is Steve Wise. right? So
Yep.
Steve Wise taught me how to sing on my stomach. So that's why I have voice control wherever I am.
Okay.
Because of him. And I was the platform was I was supposed to do that big power concert.
Yeah.
And as I was preparing to do it, I got so many naysayers. If you do it, you're going to flop. You're not going to be good at it. Wow. You know, people are going to laugh at you. And I was so afraid to do it that I got out of it. And now that I think about it, I'm so angry that I did because I never know what would have happened.
Yeah.
But that was somebody else's fear. You know, being in fear.
You
And then
took your-
because I wasn't sure of that light, I let it take over me. And I did. And then I regretted it. So the song Exhaust Pipe,
Yeah.
that song is kind of me putting a stamp on my realization that I have something, I always had it, and you try to take it away, but you could never take it away.
I come to collect all you took from me. No, I ain't ready. Just step aside and catch my vibe. For all you haters slept on me. You thought your girl fall off. Wait for it. Ooh.
I allowed you to dim it, but God is saying, now is your time. And so I feel like I've done a lot of things in my life that kind of gave me the stamp of approval. Like I have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a doctoral degree, a PhD. I got all kinds of degrees.
Yeah.
Don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Helps me with my career, but at the end of the day, those are just landmarks of validation.
Right.
Now that I have that and I feel comfortable with who I am, I probably would have felt comfortable independent of that if I would have given myself a chance. Now I feel like this is my time.
Yeah.
Because Fluid Emotionz, I didn't share this the last time. I guess everybody's trying to say, what is that
Last
last
time,
Yeah,
right? Absolutely, right.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So it was in the summer of 2019. Producer called me. He was like, Status Quo Productions, yo, may I speak to Dr. Stephanie? I'm like, this is she. Who am I asking calling? It's Nike from the Bronx. Yeah, mama, I've been looking for you for 10 years. And I'm thinking, whoa. The last thing that I was able to perform was I performed at City View last September with a band. And that band, wasn't a good fit.
Okay.
And so there's still a band probably. And I just decided, well, maybe I should try to do something else. And since I already have a career and I was on a book tour, I was like, music is just, it'll come and it'll go. But when somebody comes knocking on my door and said, I've been looking for you for 10 years, I have these tracks that only your voice can go on, then I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe it is my time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I say, so this is me put with a mask on. We talked about masks before in the other video. So this is me with the mask. I'll do one song and see how it goes. He's like, so can you sound? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I was, trying to play it safe.
Right.
So the first song we did was Surrender.
Surrender all to me. It takes guts to deal this deep. Can you give it all today? Right now, somehow, I think you're scared.
At the moment that I did it, I had no idea what I was singing. Because when I hear music, words just kind of come to me like a divine download. My husband said, Prince could do that. Right?
True.
And so it's almost like I'm hearing the melody and the words and I write it down really quickly before I lose it. I feel like I'm taking dictation. So as I don't sit down and say, I'm going to write a song about rain today.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen for me that way.
Yeah.
When I hear music, I just,
Mm-hmm.
And then I might have to kind of sing it over in order for me to catch the melody that was downloaded, or I might put it in my phone so I won't forget it. But that's literally how it happens for me.
Yeah.
And so we did Surrender, and he was like, yo, that's hot.
Yeah.
You want to try another one? And here's me again. I don't know. I got things to do. And in the back of my mind, it was like, girl, you know you want to sing.
Front the whole time.
Front the whole time. So we go back to the studio, and we were pumping out a song a night.
Yeah. Wow.
And so the next song was Chemistry.
We got chemistry. We got history.
Yes.
And it's never fair when there's no plan. All I understand is we got chemistry.
And Chemistry originally didn't have a rap to it.
Yeah.
It was just me singing, and I go home and I'm excited. Babe, I write another song. He was like, oh, that's nice. You know, never as hyped as I am. Right? I'm like,
Too cool.
right? I'm like, what, you don't want to hear my music?
Yeah.
Or sometimes he would say, oh, babe, I'll listen to it tomorrow. And I'm like, what? You gonna wait till tomorrow? Like, I want you to hear it now. Because I was so excited about creating something that was not a remake of somebody else's sound.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
like, you gotta hear this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? How did I do it?
Yeah.
You know, how did she do it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right.
That's the only way.
That's right.
And then it was like, okay, so yo, my mom, I got some more tracks. What you want to do? And I was like, at this point, bring it. So
Yeah.
then it became like a hit factory.
Yeah.
And he kept giving me tracks, and he would go and get on the phone or something, and he would leave me in a room for like 10 or 15 minutes. He'd come back like, what you got? And I'm like, this is what I got. He was like, word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only going for 10 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
like, but we better hurry up and lay it down before I lose it.
Right. Right.
And we did that 15 times.
Wow.
15 times. We did not set out to create a project at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, yo, mama, I got these tracks. Right? He's like, why you keep clowning me? I mean, I love to hear him talk. He's from the Bronx, you know, that New York
right,
accent.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you gotta like make him talk like, so, how you do today? You know, my day was good, right? Right. So that's how I knew that it was my time.
Yeah.
Because it came to me, I didn't go looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And once it sat in my lap, I said, it's my time, so I'm not going to squander it. I'm gonna seek it out like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing now. And I'm like, I have this laser vision, and I'm not going to stop until I get the mark.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop. It's like, it's how I breathe.
Yeah.
That's how I breathe. So when I'm not singing, and my voice gets like, oh, Steph not singing because she, you know, the voice is going. That's a sign. And it's really that serious for me. I recognize that I have a true gift.
Mm-hmm.
And what does scripture say? And you know, the scripture about the talents, like I gave you the talents and you buried them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Some was thrown on bad soil and weeds got it. But
Yeah.
you ain't doing nothing with it. This is what I'm gonna take them all.
Right.
And I'm gonna give them to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I hear people say, you doing too much. And I'm like, well, what do you
Infamous
mean
statement.
too much?
Right. Yeah.
That's an infamous
Yeah.
statement.
Because if God gave me all of these gifts, he did it for a reason.
Right. Yeah.
So I see me writing books and singing as the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
right? It's a healing tool.
Yeah.
As a doctor of natural medicine, I'm doing the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have actually a television show too. We just finished it. It's called From Panic to Empowerment Show with Dr. Stephanie.
Wow.
And there's 10 episodes on it, and it's about 30-minute segments. Are they 30-minute segments? I think they might be hour segments on every chapter of my book. And I bring on a different guest, and we kind of talk about it.
Okay.
And then I've been traveling all over the world. So last year, I went to London, Paris, Rome, Egypt, Indonesia, and Texas.
Wow.
And Texas, twice.
That's like a country unto itself.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right? And so it's like, doing too much, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? If
Yeah.
God gave you all of these talents, you better use them before he give them to somebody else.
That's right.
And
That's right.
sometimes you don't use them all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it seems like that all of my talents are converging in the center because they're kind of doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't feel like work.
Right. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like work. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of flowing in each of it as I go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning new things, learning new people, building new relationships.
Yeah.
But it still feels like the same thing of the same thread. It's not like doing too much as other people would think. It's just kind of like having everything in one basket and doing one and then putting it down for a second and doing it. And that's what it feels like for me.
Yeah.
So this is my time.
Yes.
This is my time.
Yes, indeed.